What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. So right now I'm about to get into the funniest moments from the Johnny Depp trial. So let's get to it.
And then you went in the house and saw Mr. Depp in the foyer, correct?
Yes, correct.
And Mr. Depp was trying to urinate in the foyer, wasn't he?
No.
Mr. Depp had his penis out of his pants, didn't he?
I think I would remember
Relevance.
seeing Mr. Depp penis.
I'll allow. Next question.
And you were trying to get Mr. Depp out of the house,
They're like,
correct?
what the fuck?
Correct, I was trying to get Mr. Depp out of the house.
I mean, if you
And
ask
Mr. Depp was
me,
refusing
this
to leave.
entire trial has been a shit show in terms of Heard's lawyer team. I don't know what the hell they doing, but they seem very incompetent to me.
Leave the house, was he not?
Like, there was one
Not
part
so much
where
refused,
her
just wanted 2
lawyer
minutes to
objected
see-
to his own question.
You took
It was
Mr.
like,
Depp's arm to try to move him out, but he broke away, isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, so he was strong enough to break away from your grip, correct?
No.
So you had his arm and he broke away, though, correct?
No.
And isn't it true that in the entire time you were there, you were not informed as to what caused damage to Mr. Depp's finger on March 8th?
Objection, hearsay.
I'm asking what he wasn't told.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Oh.
This what I was just saying. Didn't I just say that? Like, he objected to, like, how you gonna object to your own question? Like, this is a shit show, boy. Whoa, like, where did she get this team from?
Next question.
Okay, he said he sustained an injury to his finger.
But I remember.
Oh yeah, this dude was hilarious.
The whole story, how they got there. Before they
He
got
started
there, they
smoking
went
and
to the
everything.
street, They come down. They say, somebody tried to get into my unit. There's scratches on my door. Say, and like, oh, I'm really sorry, but who will think is gonna get into your unit because they saw some scratches on the door, like what, 4 inches above the door, because the dog was scratching the door, was trying to get in, and they thought about someone trying to break into the unit. I said, in my head, I was like, you think someone's trying to get into your unit? There's scratches like 4 inches above the floor on your door. That was the dog trying to get into the unit. And they were so afraid. Oh, someone's trying to get into my unit. They're like, oh, come on, really? And I actually, when they asked me to go inside the unit just to check room by room to make sure that no one was there. So I did that. It's part of my job, make sure they're safe. But I didn't understand why they want me to do that. Like, oh, I don't know.
You're like, yeah, that's some bullshit.
What was the photograph of Mr. Depp?
It was a photograph of the bed, our bed, and on my side of the bed.
She took a shit. Yeah, she got a problem.
Was human fecal matter.
That's crazy. You know what?
So I understood why
He could have got
it wasn't a good time to go down there.
Hepatitis.
My initial response
anything.
to that was, I mean, I laughed. It was so outside. It was so bizarre and so grotesque that I could only laugh. So I did not go down there that day.
you poop on the bed. See, the part where he's
Incident
smoking.
was May 21st.
Like, hey, he still got to go about his
2016.
day.
You
They ain't
saw
paying
her
his
the
bills.
night of May 25th, correct?
Correct.
You said that you saw Amber Heard hundreds of times while she was there. Did Amber Heard treat you well, and was she friendly to you in each of these hundreds of times?
Yes. I'm not gonna say no because she was really always nice.
All right, this
I
is
don't
my
think
last.
she would be nice.
All right, this is my last question. You testified in response to Mr. Presidio's questions that you testified truthfully in all of these occasions. Did you testify truthfully to everything that you testified in response to my questions today?
That's correct.
All right.
I did.
That isn't actionable because under the Lakova versus Halper case, 995 F3rd 134, retweeting a link doesn't constitute republication. Now that case
Well,
dealt with
it does if you
hyperlink.
add something to it, but I just don't know the evidence.
Your Honor, very quickly, it's a judicial admission. They admitted in Ms. Heard's answer, she admitted to the tweet. So that establishes that she adopted the op-ed in its entirety, and it was discussed. We talked about judicial admissions. One was the op-ed itself. The second, and this is reflected in
Your
the
Honor, if I could
transcript.
finish my argument, I mean, I would
understand.
appreciate.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but dude, you cut off Depp so many times and all the other witnesses when they were trying to answer, so now you get a taste of your own medicine.
To oppose this.
I know, that's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead,
So,
sir.
and again, we can.
Johnny Depp started paying me 2 years ago.
Okay, so now you're being, so you were working, Jerry Judge was your boss until he passed away, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, and now you get paid directly by Mr. Depp, correct?
Right.
And you're paid a salary by Mr. Depp?
No.
Okay. And Mr. Depp's also provided you gifts, correct?
Gifts?
Gifts. Money, gift.
Yes.
And,
No. Yes, Johnny's given me gifts. I've given Johnny gifts.
and he's given you gifts over $8,500, correct?
$8,500.
Yeah.
He gave me a lot more than that.
Okay. And you're loyal to Mr. Depp, right?
Yes, of course I'm loyal to Mr. Depp. I'm loyal.
Mr. Depp, if
Basically, he asked that question to try to create a bias pretty much.
you could please take a look at the stack of articles in front of you.
Yes, it's a stack of hit pieces
the first one is
generated
called
by
the.
Ms. Heard's publicity team.
Mr. Depp, we're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible.
I'm just
I'm going to ask you
stating
about
what they
the
are.
first one. Well, we're gonna talk about them. The first one is.
Yeah, he's talking about a bunch of hit pieces written basically to try to say that people was already discussing his career in a negative light prior to the op-ed coming out, and that the op-ed had nothing to do with his career taking the turn it did, which is complete bullshit because, as you know, when somebody is accused of sexual or physical assault, oftentimes the big corporations are going to distance themselves from that individual, which in turn is going to hurt the pockets. So
Is entitled, it's from The Guardian. Do you see that?
Apparently drunk.
Yes, and this is an article from November 15th, 2014, entitled, Apparently Drunk Johnny Depp Cut Off at Hollywood Film Awards Ceremony, correct?
That's what it says, yes, sir.
And the next article is an article from May 7th, 2016. It's entitled, Johnny Depp, Friends and Family Seriously Concerned About Him. Here's Why.
Yes,
that ain't
how
got
did
nothing
they
to do
know?
with anything.
The next article from May 1st, 2017, before Ms. Heard filed
That is, how did they know unless somebody fed them the information, right?
for a restraining order, an article entitled, Where Did It All Go Wrong for Johnny Depp? After a string of flops and a ton of bad press, Johnny Depp's star power looks as wobbly as Jack Sparrow on a plank. Did I read that right?
You read that very, very well.
The next one, Hollywood Reporter, May 27th, 2017.
And then you went in the house and saw Miss.
I think he's going to win the case. I love how our attorney jokes was on like, yeah, that right there, that was bizarre. The big fella hitting the vape and driving around was fucking hilarious. He was. But that's going to do it for my reaction. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Before you go, be sure to drop a like and a comment below. And until the next one, peace.